Yeah. Okay. The definition I have here goes along the lines of those. So, logic is the framework we use to make sense of the world. Does that hopefully make sense? Yeah. Logic is the framework we use to make sense of the world. It is where evidence, consistency, and rationality lead us to make a conclusion. So, for example, if it was raining, logically it's going to be wet outside, right? That's a logical thing. Um, if I put 5 alarms on in the morning, then logically I'm going to get out of bed on time, right? Not always. Or if my alarm does go off, then logically that extra 5 minutes on the snooze is going to make me feel a whole lot better and make it easier, right? Logically thought about it. Exactly that. So, and going back to VG's point, like we use logic all the time, don't we? We use logic in, for those of you that are still at school studying, you have to apply logic, you're learning logic. For those of you that are working, we actually get paid to use our logic. If it wasn't for logic, we wouldn't be able to do our jobs, right? We make decisions based on logic. So this talk today, Sasangji, Sikhi versus logic, we're not trying to portray logic as this evil, dark, bad thing. It exists, we need it, but we're just looking at how Sikhi might differ from logic, right? For example, you guys are all here, right? There's, I don't know, 40 of you, maybe? Is there any logical reason for us all to be here today outside of Sikhi? So put Sikhi to aside. Put aside the fact that this is a Gurdwara and we're all here on a Sunday evening. We normally come here. Is there any logical reason for us to even be here? So I'm looking around and I know about 10 people out of this whole Darbar. That's still about 30 people I don't know. Different ages, come from different backgrounds. Can anyone here think of any logical reason for us all to be here today outside of Sikhi? There isn't, is there? There's not one reason why we should all be here in this room. So logic isn't bad. It just doesn't align with the truth. So the truth is, Sasangaji, that even though we are all so different, even though we're all from different backgrounds, we do different jobs, different friendship groups, different families, we're actually all one. Ik Onkar, isn't it? So that Mool Mantra that Guru Nanak Dev Ji blessed us with, right from the very first ik, starts challenging our logic. Because that ik is the reason actually we're all here today. We are actually all one at our very core, even though we're so different. Right? We are actually all just one. So elsewhere in the Mool Mantra, Maharaj says, Akaal moorat. Akaal. So Kaal means time. For someone to be Akaal, they're beyond time, meaning they're beyond death. Akaal moorat. Look at the depth of what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying here. Akaal moorat. Moorat means a form. Everything that has a form, Satsangaji, is subject to time. Think about it. Our bodies have a form. Our bodies are subject to time. They're not going to last forever, right? This earth, this whole creation, the sun isn't going to be around forever, right? When someone switches it off, that's it, sun, no more sun, right? Everything that has a form is subject to time. But Vaiguruji is Akaal Moorat. They're the form of that thing. They're the form that is beyond time. Again, completely defies our logic, doesn't it? The point being, Sasangaji, that Vaiguruji is the possibility within the impossibility. So we would say, if we didn't have Guru Nanak, we'd say it's impossible. It's impossible for something to exist outside of a form. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. But because of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, because of the Sikhi they blessed us with, we can say, actually, you know what? I might not be able to see this thing, but I know it exists. In fact, I'm seeing it all around me. Right? Vaiguruji is a possibility within the impossibility. So many people, Sasanji, over the years, they've actually tried to conquer death themselves. And one such person was a demon, very powerful demon called Harnakash. Has anyone heard of Harnakash before? Just a show of hands. A couple of you. Okay. Right. So Harnakash, his brother was killed by an incarnation of Vishnu. Vishnu incarnated as a boar. He killed his demon brother, right? So Harnakash wanted revenge. So Harnakash thinks, if Vishnu, a demigod, killed my brother, then I need to become as powerful as Vishnu, right? So what he does is he starts to meditate. He meditates for 11,500 years, right? He sits in meditation, does not move. After 11,500 years, Brahma appears, right? The creative power of Vaheguruji. They appear before Harnakash and they say, we're so impressed with your meditation, ask for a boon. Ask for a gift and we'll give it to you. No matter what you ask for, it's going to be yours. So Harnakash thinks now. He still wants revenge, right? I'm sure many of us have held a grudge. This guy held a grudge for 11,500 years, right? He still can't let go. He still wants revenge for what Vishnu did to his brother. So he thinks to himself, if I overcome death, right? If I can just overcome death, I will become Akaal moorat. I'll become a form that's beyond time. I'll become level with Vaheguruji themselves. Logically, makes sense, right? A very powerful place to be. So that's what he's aiming for. He wants to conquer death. So in his boon, he starts his request with this. He says, no human being or animal can kill me. No animal, no human being at all. He says, I don't want to be able to die in the day or the nighttime. He says, I can't be killed on the ground or in the sky. He's really covering all bases, isn't he? He does not want to die. So he's thinking of all the ways he could die, and he's ticking them off on this list. He even says, I can't be killed inside any building or outside, no matter where I am. He even says, no weapon is allowed to kill me. So not the sharpest sword or the most accurate arrow, nothing can kill Harnakash. He even says no fire should be able to burn me. No water at all could be able to drown me. So he's covering himself off against the elements as well. So as you can expect, Sasangaji, he becomes very powerful. He rules. He rules with so much power that he tells people, stop saying God's name. Stop repeating Ram. Stop repeating Hari. Stop repeating Narayan. From now on, everyone is to recite my name, Harnakash. And they do, because he's so powerful. You can't stop this guy. He's so powerful. People say, Jale Harnakash, Tale Harnakash. Meaning Harnakash is in the water. Harnakash is in the earth. You know how we say Vaheguruji is everywhere? They're now starting to say, Harnakash, you're everywhere. You're so powerful, you can't be killed. We'll bow to you. The only person that doesn't is Harnakash's son, Prahlad. Prahlad, his own son, always keeps repeating Ram, 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 Ram. All day he keeps meditating on Ram. So Harnakash, he speaks to his son and he says, look, don't you realize I'm so powerful? Don't you realize I can't be killed? Why would you meditate on God when I'm here, when I'm so powerful? He says, no, you're not all powerful. You think you are, but you're not. So Harnakash, he, after trying to convince his son for so long, his son's about 6 years old, he decides that the only way, remember, this is Harnakash's son. So if everyone's trying to follow Harnakash and his own son isn't following him, it's not a good look for Harnakash. So he thinks the only way I can move forward now is to kill my own son. I've got to get rid of him. So what he does, he gets his demons, like his soldiers. They put Prahlad on this boat and they tip him over into really deep water. As they row back to the shore, Prahlad is sat there on the shore, on the shoreline, and they're saying Ram, Ram, Ram. They're just meditating. So Vaheguruji, as they fell into the water, Vaheguruji took them themselves and saved them. So now they think logically that he's swam back. So logically, they tie up his hands, they tie up his legs, they even tie him to a really heavy rock, and they say, let's drop him in now. So when they drop him in the water now, he goes down, 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 and they're expecting him to stay down. He ends up floating back up. All the shackles they placed on his hands, all the shackles they placed on his feet, completely broken. That heavy rock smashed into pieces. So he's floating now. They take him back to Harnakash and they say, Harnakash, your son can't drown. We can't figure it out. We've tried everything. This boy will not die by drowning. So Harnakash thinks, okay, fine. In that case, take him to the highest mountain and throw him off. Will you let gravity do the work? If water isn't going to kill him, gravity will. So these demons, they throw this 6-year-old boy, remember Satsangji, right? 6-year-old boy, they throw him off this high mountain. As he falls down, he doesn't fall, he floats. He becomes as light as a feather. And he floats all the way down, reaches the ground completely unharmed. At that moment, a lightning bolt actually strikes these demons, kills them all, the ones that threw him off the mountain, right? Vaheguruji's in control. So now Harnakash is thinking, okay, gravity didn't kill my son. Water didn't kill my son. Let's try fire. So Harnakash had a sister called Holika. Holika had a special boon of her own, a special power that no fire could burn her ever. So he says to Holika, he says, take my son, sit him in your lap, and go sit in this wooden funeral pyre, right, of all this wood. And when you're in there, hold on to him, and we'll set the whole thing on fire. You'll be fine, because you've got the power of not ever being able to get burned. But Prahlad, he'll die. So what happens? She sits him down. They set the whole pyre on fire. Prahlad is saved. He keeps saying Ram, Ram, Ram. He keeps meditating. God saves him. He's completely unharmed by the fire. Holika, she burns to death. Even though she had that boon, she burnt to death. So now Harnakash is thinking, no one's able to kill my son other than me. I'll do it myself. So in his palace, there's loads of columns. You know, you've got these 2 columns here in this room. He ties his son to a column. And he says, as he takes out his sword, says, where's your arm now? I'm going to kill you myself. Where's your arm now? As he goes to swing his sword, Vaheguruji takes upon the form of Nar Singh, a half lion, half human form. And they actually take Prakash out of that column. The column breaks. So let's go through Harnakash's boon and how Nar Singh was still able to kill Harnakash. Now Harnakash said, no human being or animal can kill me. But Nar Singh wasn't an animal and wasn't a human. They were half lion, half human, right? He said, I can't die in the day or the night time. Nar Singh took form in the twilight hours. You know when the sun sets, it's probably setting about now, but you can kind of still see the light in the sky. That's twilight. It's not night and it's not daytime either. Nar Singh took form in the twilight hours. And the next thing, I can't be killed on the ground or in the sky. So Nar Singh took Harnakash and put him on their lap. So he's not in the sky, he's not on the ground, he's on their lap. Not only that, but when he said, I can't be killed inside or outside, Nar Singh placed his body in a doorway. So half his body was in, half his body was out. So look at all of this. It's all being undone. All of this ego, all of this logic that Harnakash used is all being undone. And when he said, no weapon can kill me, you know when he said, no weapon, no fire can burn me, no water can drown me, there was no weapon used to kill Harnakash. Nar Singh used their claws to rip his body apart. That's how he was killed. So Maharaj here, they say, Hara Jug Juga Bhagata Upaya, Bej Rakta Aya Ram Raje. In each and every jug, in each and every age, Vaheguruji themselves protects their bhagats. No matter how much logic someone uses to hurt their bhagats, Vaheguruji always finds a way. They always find a way to protect their bhagat. Hara Jug Jug Bhagata Upaya, Bej Rakta Aya Ram Raje, Har Nakasa Dust Har Marya, Prahlad Traya. Vaheguruji themselves killed Harnakash and they saved Prahlad. How? How did they do this? Because they are the possibility in that which is impossible. It is impossible for us to take upon a form of a half human, half animal. It's impossible for us to do what Nar Singh did, right? But we can't now apply that logic and say, whoa, 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 Vaheguruji, you can't appear from a column, what are you doing? Right? We can't apply that logic to Vaheguruji. God is outside of that logic. We're in that logic, but Vaheguruji is not inside that logic. Okay, next one, Sasangaji. What does it mean to die? Ooh, very deep, very dark. What does it mean to die? Okay, if we ask someone, a non-Sikh, for example, what would they say if we asked them, what does it mean to die? What do you reckon they would say? What does death mean? Yep, leave your body. If we asked a Sikh, what might they say? What does it mean to die? They might have a different answer. Yeah, you complete your spiritual journey, right? So those two things for a Sikh, the physical body coming to an end and the spiritual journey that we're on coming to an end, are two different things. Maharaj here, they say, Satguru Sev Mana Nirmala. That by following this path of Guruji, by following this path of Sikhi and serving, meditating, doing good actions, right? Serving everyone, what happens? Home Tajuvikar. Home, this ego that's separating us from Vaiguruji, it gets destroyed. They go on to say, Ab Choda Jivat Mare. If we let go of ourselves, meaning Ab Choda, if we let go of our ego, if we are blessed to overcome our own ego, what happens? Jivata Mare. We die whilst we're alive. Jivata Mare. Gurke Sabata Vichar. We get to that point by doing Vichar, by understanding what our Guru is saying to us, by reading Gurbani, meditating on Gurbani, right? If I said that to a non-Sikh, maybe even Sikhs these days, that you can die whilst you're alive, they'd think I was crazy. That makes no sense, logically. To a logical person, that makes zero sense. To be dead whilst alive, unless you got really bad jokes and people call you dead, right? Or a bad personality, you're dead. This is against our sense of logic. Okay, next one, Sazangaji. What does it mean to win? Now, if we ask someone in the world, what does it mean to win? What's a winner? Right? Yeah, go on. Yeah. Money, friends, wealth, all those things come in first, right? If you're in a race or in a competition, you win by coming first, right? You win by winning. Right? If we ask Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they'd say something different. They would say, Pranavata Nanaka Dasana Dasa. Praise Guru Nanak Dev Ji. A das means a slave. Dasana Dasa is a slave of slaves. So not a slave of the master, a slave of the slave. So it's one level down. Dasana Dasa, what happens? Jaga Harya. The whole jug, Harya, the whole world loses. Then they say, Dinajita, the winner. The winner is that slave. Dasana Dasa. That's what happens. That's what Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that's the definition of winning in Sikhi. Would we ever consider a slave to be a winner? Imagine putting that on your CV, LinkedIn, slave. People will be like, what? Get the authorities involved, man. Like, what's going on here, right? That doesn't make any sense. But that's a winner in the eyes of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, right? Not only a slave, dasana, dasa, a slave of slaves. That's how low you got to be. That low person is high in the eyes of Guru Nanak. I'm just going to play a clip now. This is Baba Jagjit Singh Harkowal Wale, and he says something very interesting. It's a path of servants, isn't it? Like Baisal said in the Gatha earlier as well, this is actually a path of serving, not about being sort of the top dog. Now, by Gurdashi, they talk about how Guru Nanak Dev Ji actually set this up, how they implemented this servitude. So they say Rana Ranka Barabari. Arana, someone who's royal. Rank, someone who's poor. Barabari, they made him Barabar. They made them level, made them equal. How? Peri pavana jag vartaya. Peri, the feet. They made them become servants. They made them serve each other at each other's feet. If we're not at each other's feet, we're going to be at each other's throats, right? So this is how Guru Nanak Dev Ji implemented this. Whether you're royalty or whether you're poor and you've got nothing, you're still going to have to serve. The path is the same regardless. We're going to have to serve. So a Sikh isn't worried about recognition, a gold medal. They're not worried about that. All they're worried about is serving. Maharaj goes on to say, Ulta khel. So by Gurdas, she says Ulta khel. Ulta means upside down, back to front. Khel. Piramda. Piram means Vaiguruji. So this play, this khel or Vaiguruji, it is upside down. Gurdas is admitting it. It doesn't make sense to our logic. It's completely against our sense of winning and losing. Ulta khel piramda. Pera upara sees nabaya. The people that are at the pair, the people that are so low, they live with so much humility, they're not worried about being famous or being known or being out there, right? Those people, pera upar, they're seen as high in the eyes of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Those people that we don't even know about. You know, like, if we take Seva, for example, right? Like, okay, so this Seva, I'm on a microphone. It's being broadcast. Very difficult to have a mindset and stay low when you're on a microphone in front of people. Very hard. But if we were to wash Bande, for example, there's no live stream in there. There's no microphone in there. I don't know who's washing the Bande. I've got no idea. So what's a safer seva, right? It's the Bande, isn't it? Right? Those people that will never know who cooked our langar today, no idea. Who's going to wash up Bande after? Pass. That is the path. That's Sikhi there. So this challenges our perception of success. So, for example, just on that, if we said, okay, let's go for an hour, we're going to do something, and everyone's going to leave with £100,000, would you guys come with me? Let's just put our hands up. If I said, come with me, we're going to do something for an hour, we're going to create this app, we'll sell it, and everyone who comes with me is going to get £100,000. Who would say no? Who would say yes? Put your hands up. Come on, Satsangaji, you know. If you're guaranteed £100,000 after 1 hour's work, of course. Now imagine someone says, come, let's watch the Bande for an hour. Satsangji, even I'm thinking, I've got work tomorrow, man. I don't have work tomorrow, but I'd probably say something like, I've got work tomorrow. I've got to wake up early. Don't worry about it. Another time. I'd put it off. Right? Our conditioning of what is success doesn't align with Sikhi's definition of what is successful. Right? Kanji. Why? As long as you're coming from a place of serving, you can't go wrong. Even in a business, even as a boss, even with employees, the boss, the best people I've worked under act like servants. That's my personal experience. As long as we're coming from a place of serving, we can't lose. So in this game, Satsangaji, in the world, we have to win to win. You come first or you lose. That's it. But in Sikhi, you have to lose to win. It's completely back to front. Completely against our sense of logic. Right? Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they don't care how rich we are. Why don't you go to Guru Nanak Dev Ji saying, Maharaj, look how many millions I made. What do you think Guru Nanak Dev Ji would say? What if we went to Guru Nanak Dev Ji and said, Maharaj, I served millions. Not saved, served. or serve millions? Which one is Guru Nanak Dev Ji going to be more impressed with? It's the serving. It's a path of serving. In Sikhi, we have to lose to win. Ulta khel is an upside down play. So one time, Guru Amar Das Ji, our third Guru, they had two son-in-laws. So Bhai Jethaji was married to Bibi Pani Ji, and Bhai Ramaji was married to Bibi Tani Ji. So he puts Bhai Jethaji, Bhai Ramaji to a test. And he says to them, I need you to build a platform for me, like a stool to sit on. I need it to be this high. I need it to be this long and wide, right? Gives them the dimensions, and they set off to work. So they're making this platform. After a few days, Guru Amar Das Ji, they come back. So what are you guys doing? This isn't how I told you to make it. Get rid of this, destroy this, and start again. Bhai Jethaji destroys his straight away, starts all over again. Bhai Ramaji says, but Maharaj, I'm building it how you told me. You gave me the measurements. This is what I'm building to, what you told me. Guru Amar Das Ji says, no, it's wrong. Get rid of it. They go. They come back a few days later. The second try at making these platforms now. Guru Amar Das Ji goes, still wrong, guys. Both of you are still wrong. What does Bhai Jethaji do? Starts breaking it. It is wrong, according to him. Yes, it's wrong. My Guru says it's wrong, it's wrong. Starts breaking his platform, starts making it again. Bhai Ramaji, he says, Maharaj, I definitely made this to your specification. I double checked. Don't tell me to break it. What does Guru Amar Das Ji say? Break it. I'm telling you, break it. It's not right. Third time, Guru Amar Das Ji comes again. Guess what they say? Still not good enough. Still not right. Even the third time. Bhai Ramaji, he turns to his Guru. Imagine your own Guru. Guru Amar Das Ji. They turn to Guru Amar Das Ji. They say, Maharaj, you know what? You're getting a bit old. You're getting a bit, senile. You're losing it a bit. They say to Maharaj, I'm definitely doing this how you're telling me. You're maybe getting a bit old, Maharaj. Bhai Jethaji starts crying. And he grabs onto the charan, the feet of Guru Amar Das Ji. Guru Amar Das Ji looks at me and goes, why are you at my feet? Why are you crying for? Bhai Jethaji says, you're so amazing. That's why I'm crying. He's got all these tears running down his face. Guru Amar Das Ji says, that doesn't make any sense. I'm so amazing. Why are you crying for? He goes, I'm crying because you're so amazing, yet you still give me another chance. You're still giving me a chance again and again and again. That's how great you are. I'm so bad, I can't do this how you want me to do it. You're telling me it's wrong, that means it's wrong. You know how we say, pull under sabko, or pull guru kartar. Everyone is able to make a mistake. A pull, to not make a mistake, guru kartar, is guru and Vaheguruji. They're both the same thing anyway. Right? Guruji cannot make a mistake. If Guruji says it's wrong, it's wrong. So the Guru Gaddi goes to Bhai Jethaji. And they become, who's our fourth Guru? Guru Ram Das. Guru Ram Das. Because he was a servant of Ram. Right? He's a Das. So it wasn't that Bhai Ramaji was wrong. It wasn't that he was wrong. Logically, he was right. It was that he couldn't give up his own mind. He couldn't give up his sense of logic. He couldn't become a true servant, a true das. So when we say Pranvata Nanaka, dasana dasa, jaga harya dina jita, that those that become a servant, they're the ones that win. Now it's kind of easy for us to say that, oh, Bhai Ramaji, he couldn't give up his mind, he couldn't give up his logic, so he kind of lost out. Easy to say. Now imagine Guru Nanak Dev Ji comes to us now and they say, you know the color of the sky? That's green. You know the color of that grass out there? That's blue now. How many of us are going to go, yep, got ya. Sat Bachan Maharaj. If that color out there that I thought was blue before is now green, that's green for me now. The color of the grass, that's all blue. It's so hard. You're laughing. So many laughing faces. It's so hard to let go of it, isn't it? How many of us would point the finger to Maharaj? How many of us would say, Maharaj, maybe you're getting old, maybe you're wrong? Can we let go of our own mind? Can we lose in order to win? One day, Bhagat Kabir Ji was having a conversation with someone. And they asked Bhagat Kabir Ji a very interesting question. They say, Bhagat Ji, you know this world, is it true or is it false? I'm confused because if it's false, then why does it feel so real? My experience in this world is so real. If it's true, then why is this world going to go one day? Why is it going to be destroyed? I'm so confused. Bhagat Kabir comes back with a very in-depth answer. We're going to go through this. They say, Pehla Bhut Bicheri Mai. It's the first thing he says. Imagine getting an answer like that. First the son was born, then the mother. They say, Guru Lago Chele Ki Pai. The Guru falls at the feet of the disciple. They say, listen to this wonderful thing. O sibling of destiny, I saw the lion, Dekat the singer, Jarava the guy. I saw the lion herding cows. They say, Jalaki Machali, Taravar Biyai, the fish gives birth upon a tree, Dekat the Kutra, Lege Balai. I saw a cat carrying away a dog. They say the branches are below and the roots are above. They say the trunk of that tree bears fruits and flowers. The trunk, not the branches, the trunk. That's what Bhagat Kabir is saying. They say, Kore chara, bears a charavan jai, riding a horse, the buffalo takes him out to graze. The bull is away, but his load has come home. You know, the cart that the bull pulls, the cart has come home, but the bull is away. They finish off by saying, Kehta Kabira, jo es bad bujje. Someone who understands this Shabad, someone who understands this, what happens? Ram Ramata, and they meditate, this is Sabaki Chusuje. They see everything. They understand everything. So many confused faces in front of me right now, and I'm not surprised. Does anyone want to have a go at trying to explain what Bhagat Kabir was talking about here? Remember, the question was, is this world true or is it false? Does anyone want to have a go at explaining that? Okay, interesting. Do you want to expand on that, or is that just... Okay. Hmm. Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's an interesting take on it. Anji, anyone else? I'm not surprised to see so many confused faces. I actually came across this Shabad about, I think, over 15 years ago, maybe even 20 years ago. And it has been in the back of my mind ever since. Only when I was doing this talk was I blessed to, with the research, to find out what's being said about Hanji. Dilip Singh, was you going to? Mm. 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 Ooh, interesting. Okay, yeah, you're very close. So this Shabad confused me for so long. So what Bhagat Kabiji is actually saying here is, you know, like how a fish giving birth in a tree isn't real. The opposite, or the logical, is the fish gives birth in water, right, or lays eggs in water, right? That's logical. How Bhagat Kabiji is saying that just how we think it's impossible for a fish to do that, it's impossible for a fish to give birth in water as well. That logic, even though we don't understand it, is just as flawed as the logic we're using to understand the world. It's very deep, this. So I hope I'm doing it justice. I'm probably not. But he's basically saying this world is false. That we are just conditioned to believe a logic that this world shows us. So if we flipped it, if that fish actually came out and gave birth in the tree, that's just as false as the fish giving birth in the water. None of it's real. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, they say, Jagarachana sab jhoot hai. This whole jug, this whole world, it's a lie. It's not even real. It's false. Right? So it's just challenging that sense of logic. It's a bit like there's an analogy of someone in a dark room. They think that there's a venomous snake in there, but when someone switches on the light, they realize it's just a bit of rope on the floor. Right? We need that guru to switch on the light to see, oh, actually, this isn't real. This isn't a snake after all. It's just a bit of rope. So to see things for what they are, we need a guru. We need to meditate. Ram Ramat. We need Ramat means to do Simran of. Right? Ram is another word for Vaiguruji. So to do Simran of Vaiguruji, we are blessed with the understanding that all of this world is actually false, and even our logic is actually flawed. So we can't understand truth just by thinking. Going back to your earlier points, which were really good points, especially yours, Vijay, about how we try and use our mind to understand Sikhi, right? It's never going to fit. Unless our brains can understand everything, and I mean everything at all times, right now, it's never going to fit. It's impossible. Vaiguruji's limitless. Our minds, mine anyway, is limited. So it's impossible. We can't. We won't be able to. It's about going beyond the mind and coming to an experience. This is where Sikhi is different from other faiths. Sikhi is about the experience. Maharaj isn't saying, don't just believe this, you can experience the one. You can complete this spiritual journey. That experience of Vaiguruji might defy logic. We're going to come to some examples in a minute. That experience might defy logic. That doesn't mean it's not true. Because the truth and logic don't always marry up. Okay, so Sikhi versus logic. We're going to go through some common sort of arguments, controversies that we have. First one being Vaisakhi 1699. Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked for a head 5 times. 5 people came up, heads were chopped off, brought back to life with the power of Amrit. Now, the reason why people start to get a bit controversial is they say, well, did Maharaj really do it? I was taught in school that Guru Gobind Singh Ji sacrificed, it's like a ram or a sheep or something. Did anyone else have that? So, yeah. Sacrificed a ram like behind a screen so that no one could see. And even as a kid, I used to think, how can Guru Gobind Singh Ji, like if the Khalsa is a path of truth, right, and the Sikhi is a path of truth, how can Guru Gobind Singh Ji start it with a lie? That doesn't make sense, right? If we're going to use a logical argument and say, well, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, how can you remove the heads of 5 people and bring them back to life? It must have been a goat. Well, also, we can also say, why would you start a path of truth with a lie? That makes Guru Gobind Singh Ji some sort of trickster. That's not what they were. They're the light of Vaiguruji. They're the light of the One. Guru Gobind Singh Ji made this whole creation. We're here right now because of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Right? They're the architect of our whole lives. And yet we can say to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, oh, Maharaj, you can't do that. Right? It's crazy, the amount of logic. But look, the people that can come up for reasoning as to what happened on Vaisakhi 1699, we've got to remember that they are trying to fit it into their logic. If it doesn't make sense of logic, that's very scary for a human being. Very scary. Because our whole sense of truth gets rocked. It's scary. So I get where people are coming from, even though I might not agree with them, right? But I kind of get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it make sense. It's not going to. The whole point of this is giving your head to your guru. For me, it makes more sense that Maharaj removed their heads and brought them back to life than it makes for Maharaj not to have done that. That makes complete sense. How else can you show the power of Amrit? That you're beyond death if you're not brought back from death with your head removed. Okay, speaking of heads being removed, Shahidi. Who am I talking about? Head being removed. Who am I thinking of when it comes to Shahidi? Yeah, Baba Deep Singh. Baba Deep Singh, right? Baba Deep Singh fighting in battle, head chopped off, no problem. Picks up head with one hand, picks up the khanda in the other hand, carries on fighting. Not only that, they don't stop until they reach Harmandir Sahib. Seems completely illogical, right? Some people make an argument that, okay, maybe he wasn't beheaded, maybe it was like a cut. Maybe just half the neck was cut. Sasangaji, look at the neck. I can't think of a single place where it can be cut in half and I can still carry on fighting. At the back, I've got my spine. Here's all my main arteries. I've got an esophagus here at the front, my windpipe. Where are we going to cut the neck and be able to fight? Do you get it? These people, again, I'm not bashing them. I get where they're coming from. They're trying to fit it into a sense of logic because it doesn't make sense. Well, I've not seen someone do this before. But just because I haven't seen someone do it doesn't mean it's not possible. This whole path is about the possibility within the impossibility. Another Shahidi, Bibi Harsharankor, a Bibi this time. After the Battle of Jamkor, she knew that the Mughal soldiers were still in the area. So logically, a logical person would say, let me wait until they go, then I'll cremate the bodies. I'll cremate the bodies of the Khalsa. Then I'll do it. She says, no, I'm going to do it tonight. She knew the soldiers was there. She knew that lighting a huge funeral pyre would attract a lot of attention, but she did it anyway. Completely illogical. This goes against our sense of safety. She went straight into danger. She knew she was going to give her life. She gave her life. She burnt on that funeral pyre herself. Completely illogical, but this is the path of Sikhi. Another Shahidi, Bhai Manpreet Singh, chopped joint to joint, right? When the Jalad, when the executioner said, remember, when you get chopped joint to joint, it's a new round of pain each time, right? Each knuckle, each finger. So the Jalad, the executioner, they take a bit of pity on Bhai Manpreet Singh. They say, look, instead of chopping your next joint, I'll skip it and I'll chop the next joint after that. Bhai Manpreet Singh says, no, your instruction is to cut me joint to joint. So you're going to cut me joint to joint, completely against logic. Logically, we'd want to save ourselves from pain, right? But this path of Sikhi isn't about logic. Next, Satsangaji, experiences. Our experiences, your experiences, what we're blessed to experience, might not always fit in with logic. There was a Guru Sikh I met a little while back, and he was telling me about how one day he was at home and he just heard this most beautiful music, most heavenly music. I was like, wow. I said, VG, what did you do? I just started opening my windows thinking, who's got their music up? I was going to tell my neighbors to send me the name of that track or something, right? And he goes, he's looking around his house thinking, where's this music coming from? And he goes, you know what the weird thing was? He goes, the music was coming from inside me. It wasn't entering my ears. It was actually coming from inside me. I was like, why, Guru, look at that. No Maharaj, they talk about Anahad Shabad, Binavanta Nanaka Guru Charana Lage, Vaje Anahad Ture, that those people that are at the Guru's Charan, those people that are the servants we're talking about, Das and Das, they're blessed with the ability to experience this music, Anahad Shabad, this Shabad that's not struck. It keeps on going over and over and over again, right? Another one, a little while back, I met a Guru Sikh. He said that in his family, all his parents and their generation were all Guru Sikhs, kept their hair, didn't cut their hair, right? But all their kids cut their hair. None of the kids were in Sikhi Sarup, none of them. And he goes, one day when he was a teenager, he steps into the road and he goes, I don't know where this car came from. It was coming so fast, he had no time to even flinch. He goes, it was just like bang, less than a second. He goes, this car was speeding down the road. He goes, as this car's coming in, the eyewitnesses that saw this said that his body from that position of walking flew 10 feet into the air. 10 feet, probably about as high as the ceiling. Into the air, Sadsangaji, from a standing position. Now, logically, a human being, as far as I know, cannot, from a standing position, jump 10 feet into the air. When I spoke to him, I said, well, what happened? So he goes, the witnesses said that my body flew. He goes, when I stepped into the road, that second, split second as the car's coming in, he goes, someone grabbed me. Because I felt someone grab me and they lifted me. They literally threw me up in the air as this car's just gone straight past. Because I was absolutely fine. He goes, I landed back on the ground. Ambulance checked him over, is absolutely fine. Goes from that day onwards, I never cut a single hair on his head. He said, I tidied the star from that day onwards because I was the first of all my cousins to keep a Sikhi sarup after that day. Imagine that, Satsangaji. Hanji. Okay. It's the electricity, right? But it's your muscles that are doing it. Right, okay, I'm with you. Okay, interesting. So all of this Satsangaji, and you guys here might have had your own experiences that you think, you know what, that just, maybe it doesn't make sense to you. Or maybe if you said it, it wouldn't make sense to anyone else. But this is the path of Sikhi. Why does this happen? Because Vaiguruji is the possibility within the impossibility. It is possible to Vaiguruji. Hanji. Mm-hmm. Mm. Hanji. Spot on. Key word you said there was connection. They were at, to quote you, a next level of connection. They had connected to that possibility. They had connected to the truth. So how they acted was in line with the truth. People like me, we're not in line with the truth. So we've got this constant tug of war between, oh, Maharaj, did you really? Oh yeah, Maharaj did. It's like my logic's, you get what I mean? The connection isn't there. This is why it all comes down to connecting, doing what our Guru's telling us to do. Ultimately, we're going to have to accept. And I think for anyone here today, if we're going to take something away, we're going to have to accept. That's it. Just one word, accept. As hard as it may be, we're going to have to accept that our logic doesn't always align with the truth. We might be wrong. We get things wrong all the time. Sometimes things happen in the world and we think, what? How has that happened? It's just our logic doesn't understand. It doesn't mean it's not true. We're going to have to accept that we are all one. We've all come from that. We are all from that same place. We're going to have to accept that Vaiguruji is beyond form and that they can take form from a pillar in a half lion, half man, and all the other things they did in the form of Nar Singh to kill Harnakash. We're going to have to accept it. We're going to have to accept that we can die whilst we're alive. It's possible. Right? Sounds crazy, but again, we're going to have to accept that. We're going to have to lose to win. That's the path of Sikhi. It's all about the losers, not the winners. The winners don't the winners don't win. The losers win. Ulta khel. And we're going to have to accept that the path is meditation. Ram Ramata. This is sab kich suje. If we meditate, if we connect, like saying Viji, sab kich suje, we see everything because we'll be more aligned with our Guru. We'll be more aligned with the truth. We're going to have to accept that our Guru can do things that we might not understand. Not only our Guru, but the Guru Sikhs. Those are just three main examples I gave today. There's probably people walking out there now have done amazing things and no one even knows. And look at these experiences those people had. That music coming from within, being lifted 10 feet in the air. There's so many countless examples. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I haven't experienced it. That doesn't mean it's not true. We're going to have to accept Satsangaji, that Vaiguruji is a possibility in the impossibility. So we've come to the end of the talk. Has anyone got any vichar or any questions of their own? Or is everyone too scared to use their logic now? Oh, I knew you were gonna have one, Anji. Go on, you can start us off. I'm sure. Go on. Hmm. Wicked. Counting the bunda you're washing and stuff, right? Yeah. Right. Right. Amazing. Thanks for sharing, bro. Anji, anyone else? Any vichar, thoughts of your own questions? Anji? So, go on. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Anji. Right. Mm. Right. Amazing. Amazing. It's funny what Sikhi does to you, doesn't it? Your everyday struggles kind of flips them on their head. Amazing. Thanks for sharing. That's beautiful. Hanji, anyone else before we wrap up? I appreciate time's getting on. Anyone else before we wrap up? Hanji, mm. Yeah, I echo that. That Mara says quite openly that the demigods, they're still trying to work out Vaiguruji. And ultimately, this whole play, if this didn't happen, we wouldn't have anything to, like when you got a scale, when you're trying to understand, like, say, good and bad, or light or dark, you have to have both ends of the scale. Even the story of Prehalad, it's going to apply to all of us. We are going to be attacked. Might not be a demon trying to attack us, but internally, demons trying to attack us, right? Anger, pride, like Dilit Singh was saying, the pride, or even when we're doing seva, we can get attacked, right? Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, all those things in our ego can attack us, but who's going to save us? Har Jug Jug Bhagata Upaya. Bej Rakta Aya Ram Raja. It's Vaiguruji that's going to save us. That's the way the place set up. It's always set up like that. People do bhakti, they come under attack, they look to Vaiguruji, and Vaiguruji saves them. It's happened so many times. It's on repeat. The fundamentals are the same, the characters are different, but the fundamentals are completely the same. That's a really good point. Anyone else, you? Okay, I'll wrap up. I appreciate time's getting on. I'll stay behind if anyone has any questions that they want to ask in private. Please forgive me for all my mistakes that I made. It's a very tricky talk to give. If you're leaving here feeling a bit stupid, it's probably not a bad thing, right? So, but nevertheless, forgive me for all the mistakes I made. And yeah, let's finish off with the Fateh. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,